Hello, everyone. I'm back. I know, again, lots of time between these reviews, and it's just going to be the nature of this channel for the foreseeable future. Though, again, I keep saying this, but I do plan on getting a little bit more back into the rhythm of this in the next couple months. But there also hasn't been a whole lot of music coming out that I've honestly felt very motivated or inspired to talk about. And I know that might be a bit of a understatement because there's been quite a bit of music coming out. It's just this channel and what I want to choose to talk about is not so much geared towards mainstream pop. That's just a decision that I'm wanting to make. And so I really am trying to just sort of zero in on my favorite artists. I know that people are going to want me to review and talk about a myriad different projects and touch on new artists I've never touched on this channel before. But that's not to say I never will someday. But it's just as of right now, I'm kind of just keeping to my keeping to my core artists. And the artist I'm about to talk about today is an British singer-songwriter called Birdy. Her real name Jasmine Van Den Bogaard. And I talked about her on this channel before. Her last album came out almost 5 years ago, in the spring of 2016. So a new album from her has been highly anticipated, from me at least. I know a lot of people are not, unfortunately, too familiar with Birdy's music, which is a real travesty. Um, but she has graced us with a 4-song EP in lieu of a full-length album, which should be coming in early next year. So hopefully not too far down the pike. And apparently, I'm sort of gleaning from an interview, though there's not a whole lot of press about this, that these songs, because I was wondering this, are actually going to be on the album, but these are the stripped back versions, just her on the piano. That's what I'm gleaning from, what she's talked about with this project. I mean, it would make sense. Otherwise, maybe these are just songs that she's written during that period and decided to put out solely for this project. But I'm leaning more towards they will be on the album in more fully fleshed out, produced form, compared to just her at the piano, which is solely what these songs are. There's very little production on it. It's very much a live take kind of feeling. And a very intimate, a close experience listening to these 4 songs. They're very delicate, they're very soft. They just really focus on her gorgeous, as we've said, bird-like vocals. That's where her namesake comes from. And so I have already reviewed Open Your Heart, which was the first song we got back in September. And actually, in the context of the 4 songs we've gotten, Open Your Heart might be my least favorite. It just doesn't stand out to me as much as the others do. The emotional swell is not as strong. It also melodically, it just feels a little too familiar to territory she's already trod in terms of melodies of songs she's written before. So Open Your Heart definitely feels like a B-side track. And I think that the other 3 songs we were gifted on this project just get better as we go down the track list. The second track we have is called Island Lights. The piano movements are so much more understated and subdued on these remaining tracks, well, at least the middle 2, than they are on the first and the fourth tracks of this EP. And so it really allows her vocals to just hover in the air around the notes. This whole project is screaming Joni Mitchell. And I know that Joni is probably a huge inspiration for Birdy, so I can't help but just hear that influence. I think anyone who is familiar with Joni's music would have to make that comparison. But these songs really stand out for the reflective, melancholic, pining tone in the song and the melody in her vocals. Island Lights is about one special night, that Birdy is recollecting about how it was something that was always going to be just a one-time experience that was full of such joy and elation, but it was never meant to last. Right now, standing the way we were, the island lights look just like stars, and someday when someone else has your love, we won't come here anymore. Reflecting on the fact that this will be something that will just be lost in the annals of history. And it's going to be very hard to fight back the tears, to realize that this is over, this relationship or this encounter, and fight back the tears. As she says, we have to keep going or we'll stay right here. We can't just endlessly reloop that magical night in the island lights over and over. We have to keep moving for tomorrow, to find a better memory to eclipse this gorgeous one we've had and made together. A sentiment that I think she, again, also explores on the third track. If this is it now, you're so quiet over there across the sea. It's not like you to be out of touch more than a week. And I had to stop myself from reaching out, because you know how I get so riddled with doubt. It's not up to you to build me up each time I fall. It's not up to you anymore. But I hope your days are filled with happiness, and I hope my name never tastes of bitterness. And I hope who loves you knows what they found. I have to learn to go without, if this is it now. That moment when you realize the stars are no longer aligning for the two of you, and you realize you just want to remain a wonderful, happy memory to this person. And you hope that they can find that happiness. You hope, of course, that you can find that happiness again. And it's a really mature take on a relationship falling apart. Again, pining over distance between two people who were once so close. That's the theme between all of these gorgeous melodies she's weaving together on this track. Again, the piano accents this song so delicately and so emotively. This probably is the song that I feel the most emotional tug from. There's just an atmosphere around this track that is so melancholic, which again is the name of the game for Birdy's music. There's not much more I can say other than beautiful, bittersweet melancholy oozing from the melodies. And the final track is definitely the highlight track, just like A River Does. Joni Mitchell is all over this one. Her track River actually comes to mind. There's a similar, energy to the piano that she's delivering. The piano accompaniment is so lively. It's like a babbling brook, running across the stones in the creek. It's very George Winston. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the New Age pianist. I could see this totally being a George Winston instrumental. She so deftly weaves the melody over it. I just can't help but want to sing along to this song. The melody is so clear and so strong. And this, it gives you such an at-home, warm and fuzzy feeling. This song definitely feels like a crisp autumn evening, or twilight, the leaves falling off of the trees, and a sense of calm amidst, a whirlwind of memory, a whirlwind of thought that's just racing through your head. And this is a moment of tranquility. But this whole EP is a moment of tranquility. And so I'm going to cling to this like nothing else, given how tumultuous everything has been right now. It's needed more than ever. I always cry on the train back home, watching the world outside I used to know. As soon as I get there, I have to go. And the years go by, I don't even know where I've been. In the blink of an eye, could have all been a dream. Will I ever find somewhere to call my own? We're two hands meant to shape the land, just like a river does. And now the day breaks and I have to go away. Run like a river does, on and on like a river does. Reflecting on, again, a relationship that has unfortunately decided to go divergent paths, but looking at it in a way that makes it all seem worth it. That's something and a theme that Birdy's music, I think, is full of, is this sort of feeling of it was all meant to happen the way it ended up happening. Even if things fell apart, this is just like how a river moves, and I will continue to move. I'm not going to stay stuck. That's against the natural order of things. We have to keep moving. We have to let time, we have to, we can't fight it, as much as we want to reclaim things that have come before. And it's such a hard lesson to learn. You can hear in her voice that these are lessons that have been really hard for her to learn and accept. There's just such a feeling of maturity, wisdom, and growth really, really comes through in these deliveries. And I'm just so touched by them. I don't know what else to say beyond that. And I really, really recommend that you all check out these 4 tracks. They're just a really great moment of clarity, of purity. They're so bittersweet, and they capture an energy that I've been feeling a bit of lack of, some lack of in music I've listened to as of late. And so I'm very, very, of course, excited to hear these songs if they're going to be more fully fleshed out. Though honestly, we might end up falling in love with these versions more, and that's the risk she took by putting them out like this. Some might stand out better as fully fleshed out songs, others more stripped back will probably be better suited. So it'll be interesting to see where she goes with these songs and what other songs she has ready in the works to release. And I know, again, like I said, she's a criminally slept on artist, and I feel more obligated than ever to make a video because of that. Just because I feel like she's one of those artists that are just like such a breath of fresh air for today's music. So just feel the emotion. Sit down and just feel these songs. That's all I can really say. And so I hope that you check it out if you haven't, or if you enjoyed this review. If you watched it all the way through, thank you so much for watching. I will see you hopefully not too far from now with another video. And I hope that you all have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace, love, and light. Bye.